Good afternoon everyone, and today, we will test at Ubuntu 14.10. So, at this stage, Ubuntu 14.10 is practically no different from Ubuntu 14.0 for else default wallpaper. We are looking at appeared are some new ones. In principle, this is not so important. So, there is nothing new here. This one, so it looks like I haven't seen 14.04. In principle, it does not matter. We have what's new here. We launch it in the forest. It's a little slow through virtual boxing, but we're not in a hurry. So, we have a fresh Firefox version 31 here. So, let's see what we have as a file manager. All the same Nautilus, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at this version numbering. That is, we have it from GNOME 3 and 10 and 1. I will say what I always say when testing intermediate and test. At this stage, this is Dale Wild. It is advisable not to use this as the main operating system, because you will see a lot of bugs, glitches, and testing can upset you. The same thing happened when I tested 12.0.04 and 14.04 and 13.10. All of them were buggy during testing. But when a ready-made else, for example, version 12.04 or 14.04 came out, everything worked smoothly and stably. Let's see what has changed in the Application Center. At 14.04, the Application Center from 13.10 is used. Let's see if something new has appeared. Since this is Dale Bolt, no one guarantees you that something will not break or fall off here. And we still have the same old store. In principle, why a new one, as long as it works stably? Although it's always nice when there are some innovations. Since this is something similar to Alpha 1, there will be little to change here. So, let's say an office. Let's see which version of either office we use here. So look, 4. 3, well 4. A pretty good office. Well, if you are not a fan of running a Microsoft Office there under Vine, then it is quite a good option. Many people are already getting used to the new Office and are happy. So, let's see what else we have here in the standard delivery of what kind of software. Pencils, watch the program. So, this is our driver. Archiver, a set of GNOME toys. Since Parted is a great thing for partitioning a hard drive, but it only works with Love City. After that, once you have installed the system, it will no longer be in the system at all. Office games after all, and anyway there's a box player. Let's see what version we have. Update, sound settings. Let me remind you that here we already use Core 3 and 15, the Ubuntuian is already missing, since the service was closed. It was a good service, it's a pity. I don't think he was worse than the boxing world, he ceased to exist. Let me remind you that we will have the final release on October 23rd, and what we are currently considering is just an updated 14.04 with a bunch of bugs and various problems. If these buggies are not being shown now, it does not mean that if you put on your hardware, everything will work smoothly and stably for you. And here is the same Amazon, because of which there was a lot of shit and problems. Well, the Canonical also has to earn something, you know, and you need to hire programmers, invest designers' money and everything in that spirit. For free, you understand that it is not always possible to do something. More precisely, not everyone wants to do something for nothing. Despite the fact that it is free, it distributes. That is, it is free. Well, in this whole business, Canonics earns anyway. As they say, Mark Shortward's money is not enough for everything. So, the first such buggies are probably most likely due to the work of virtual boxing, or maybe not. For some reason, our software does not want to be launched. Maybe nothing was launched at all. Let's say the simplest calculator, like him. Let's get started. He doesn't want to. We'll find out about the system if this thing starts. Many will ask, why do you do a review on an operating system that will be released there in 2 or 3 months, and in which there are few changes? In order for people to understand that if you see 14.10 Ubuntu, yes, you did not download it, but downloaded the stable else version, because there is nothing new. Not only that you will not see anything here, except probably a bug. Secondly, this is an interim release for programmers, various debuggers, so that they just don't waste time. 14.04 is a very stable, very cool, good product. If you don't want 14.04, the else 12.04 is still in use, also a very rather crude product. So, here we can see the programs that will open photos, videos, music by default. What is it? Well, it's basically the same as 14.04. I don't see any changes here other than an update. It will be difficult to see the difference in performance and in virtual boxing, but to put yourself on a computer instead of 14.0 for 14.10 in a raw state, Sorry, of course. I'm not so sadomasochistic to do this. That's all I think. When there are some more worthy changes, I will make a more thoughtful review. Now, unfortunately, I don't see what to show you even now. In addition to changes in the program numbers, I don't see any innovations here at all. Even now I've opened it and I'm reading what I read the news about the first alpha. Well, nothing interesting at all, except for changing programs, versions, and about the Kinsoft code of some second one, which was created for the migration of Ubuntu. That's it, nothing new anymore. And this Dale will be with 2 days. Nothing has changed, except for probably some imperceptible changes. Probably people are now wildly struggling with some bugs, so there's nothing to show you yet. This, I think, is the end of the review. Thank you for your attention.